I think many of you have already seen that phenomenal match between Classic and Serral at Dreamhack Dallas 2025, and today I want to talk about their series and particularly Game 3, how things escalated to such a tense standoff, and whether Serral could have actually won that game. I asked myself that question as I was watching live, and here is what I came up with. The game started off poorly for Serral. The Finnish Zerg was not fully prepared for a sharp adept timing attack with resonating glaives, and as a result he lost a large number of drones.
Don't know if that is actually true. That is so many adepts already heading into the natural. There is a block, very last second, but it is so last second that Evolution Chamber, of course, was not going to stand up to that many adepts. Gets one shot. Lings are going to be able to help out here. We're going to have to pull the drones away. Very late scout, very late unit production here for Serral. Might still be able to mitigate the losses, but there we go. A lot more drones going down to the main base. Suddenly we're up to 12 losses.
What a nice stasis ward as well. He's catching a few of those roaches coming up the ramp. Caught a couple that were already there too. 17 workers down. Obviously a lot of drones not mining at the moment as we go to the natural. Now these drones are obviously going to run away again, so it's even more time with just not mining. A few lings and roaches.
The game later stabilized, and Serral managed to claw his way back into a decent position, but his counterattack with lurkers didn't go as planned. Due to the early damage, his lurker attack was delayed, and by the time he moved out, Classic already had his first Tempests, which easily pushed the attack back. From there, Classic kept the pressure on. But thanks to the map layout and favorable base positioning, Serral managed to hold on and transition into an ultra late game macro scenario. However, the unique feature of Incorporeal is that it only offers 7 bases per player, and the final one doesn't even have gas gazers. That meant just one thing. We were headed towards a slow, positional war of attrition. By the 35-minute mark, both players had run out of gas. Over the next 10 minutes, Serral gradually chipped away at Classic's bases, clearly setting up for a base trade. This is a classic Zerg win condition. He could still take the game even if he lost the final battle. And that battle did eventually happen.
If the Lings take out the natural in the main and Classic is literally down to this base, he never can move, and he would know that, but that means that he could also try and snipe the Nexus. Are we getting a real fight?
We get a fight. We're actually going to have an engagement right here. Fungals went down. Serral kind of liked the situation. Storms begin to drop onto the Corruptors all over the place. Mothership going down. A lot of the air units from Classic disappearing. Serral supply dropping as well. Storms keep on landing. Those Corruptors are very low. We do not have the money to replace all of those, and there are a lot of air units remaining right now for Classic. His Archon's still hanging out. Is it going to be enough? Does Classic have anything left over? Apparently not. 42 Lings and 18 new Corruptors on the way for Serral. So even if he doesn't quite win it here, the reinforcement wave looks as though we'll get it done as Serral just finds the fight he's looking for. The last 25-minute CG was for that 10 seconds.
Nice.
There is one key moment I want to highlight. Serral actually didn't engage very cleanly at first. His Corruptors arrived late to the fight, and a large clump of them flew straight into Archons and Storms, taking heavy splash damage. That initial mistake badly injured his air army. At first, even the casters believed Serral had it, but he ended up overcommitting to Corruptors just as Classic switched into ground units. This led to the second major engagement.
I think we might have it done, as you're right. Serral got the really good remax. The Fungals even helping out as the Stalkers try to get a remax. Try and go for that, I mean, it's desperate. It's the only thing he can afford. But also there is sometimes the ability to max out on ground and have a good game. This is not one of those situations. Broodlord still exists. The Lings are still pretty good. Fungals still pretty good. And the Corruptors will overwhelm this, guys.
Honestly, there was a moment where I really did believe that actually, like, there was going to be a chance for the Classic army to really just kind of still be there in the sky, but the 18 Corruptors on reproduction are going to really kind of run a number. We actually going forward, we're actually going to go after those broods. The ground army is fairly respectable at the moment. Yo, is there a chance for this ground army? There's only 3 Broodlords left, CG.
And it's here that the game truly slipped away. There were a couple of critical factors. First, Serral made the correct decision to reinforce with 56 Zerglings, but instead of using them for a base trade, he sent them to the front lines, where they were quickly wiped out by Storms and failed to meaningfully support his army. They bought a bit of time for the Broodlords, that's true, but overall their impact was minimal. Even after that, there was still a sliver of hope. At one point, Classic had lost his Observer, and Serral had 4 Infestors alive.
2 Archons, a few Stalkers, gonna try and get in underneath there, try and target fire down whatever we can. We want to get rid of those Broodlords. There's a half a chance for Classic, I'm believing.
There is, actually. The Broodlords are not so untouched. The Fungals have not saved them. The last shot
Oh my god.
kills all but one Broodlord. No, the Corruptors can't win the game. Classic might actually still win this. The Transfusions, the Broodlord is saved.
Oh my god, the 1 Archon cannot reach the Broodlord anymore. It's out of reach. We're going to keep on trying to chase. Classic has to step back. There's 1 Broodlord at the moment. The money is pretty much all gone.
If he had managed to burrow them and keep them safe, Neural Parasite could have turned the tide by taking control of 1 Archon and thus saving the last Broodlord. Technically, even if it had survived, it would not have been enough to save Serral's buildings. However, if Serral had microed his spores and spread them across the map to buy just a little bit of time for his Corruptors to clean up with caustic spray, there might have been a tiny window of time and opportunity where he could have actually outmaneuvered Classic. But the odds were very slim, and Serral was obviously too stressed out and he just didn't have enough time to multitask everything at once.
The Broodlord trying to get rid of some of these elves. The Archon is maybe finally going to get rid of his Broodlord nemesis. It goes down finally. And the last couple of structures, can we get rid of them?
Oh.
There's a Spore Crawl over here. I mean, Serral has no base, so he'll be revealed very soon. The Spore's going to get jumped on. I don't think we've got anything else, right? 1 Spore left in the game. To the left-hand side, Classic doesn't see it. He doesn't know.
Classic is revealed.
Serral's revealed. Serral's revealed.
He has the information. He has the information. He sees it.
He
sees the last Spore.
He's got buildings left over. Classic going for the win in 56 minutes. His last structures are alive, and GG gets called. Classic will kill the Spore and win game 3.
What really stood out throughout this best of 5 was Serral's extremely passive playstyle. In most of the games, he opted to tech up to tier 3 instead of leveraging his economic and supply advantages to punish Classic before the Protoss could build up his air fleet. This pattern held true not just on that map, but on the next 2 as well. Classic ultimately won the final game with a bold, unprecedented recall to the Zerg main, a move I hadn't seen since Kivikaki vs Stefan in 2011, where a similar trick also secured the win for Protoss.
And those bases
Gonna mothership into the main base?
Oh my god!
Whoa.
Yes, he will! Very bold maneuver. The mothership's actually gonna die to the spores by the looks of things. That's a little helpful. But the high ground has been captured by Classic, and Serral trying to send those lurkers up onto the high ground through his own choke is not looking pretty.
Nope, he's gonna lose everything in this main base. It seems like the Corruptors got absolutely battered by storms as well. They put a lot of damage on the mothership, but they took a lot of damage for doing so. So that's extremely costly. All of the tech here in the main base going down again. Obviously, the Hive is gone as well, so you're gonna have to rebuild that up from scratch. I mean, this is absolutely huge. Plus 3 melee going to go down, so those lings that have been an issue throughout previous games are going to be a little bit less powerful as well. I mean, what a move by Classic, just the mothership deciding to give its life for this opportunity. And now the natural hatchery in trouble as well, because the Corruptors are not really in high enough numbers to actually go deal with the Tempest at the moment.
Yeah, and that's the backup Spire, by the way, just kind of slapped down in a hurry. That's always going to have to be canceled, so no more Corruptors going to be made. 9 Broodlords about to finish, and the Corruptors are about to pop out, the ones he could afford to make at that time. And this will not lead to further damage, it looks like. Actually, Classic might need to recall.
Yeah, I think it's a good time to recall now.
And maybe that's the reason why Serral lost this series. For all his brilliance and war-class macro and defensive playstyle, it felt like he was too cautious at key moments, missing out on easier paths to victory. While his playstyle is known for its reliability, a touch of risk in this best of 5 might have made all the difference. But still, this match was absolutely fire, an instant classic that deserves a place in StarCraft 2 history, and it was truly an amazing experience watching it live.